I'm an economist, a businessman. What I prefer is we just get straight to the heart of the problem. It should be build, baby, build. I mean, we can waste all this time drilling if we want to, but let's just go build out the energy systems. We can do it right now. We can respond to this massively increasing energy demand right now. You can't do it with oil and gas. That's going to take you years or decades. We can do it with renewable energy.
Can we get the necessary quantities of power from renewables?
Absolutely, Richard. You completely and utterly.
Which ones?
Well, solar, wind, batteries, and a new form of hydrogen, which we're going to bring to the world as soon as we fully commercialise it.
But we've heard all this before, and yet we are still seeing the demand for particularly LNG, and the debate over LNG, which of course is whether it's good or bad.
But that's geopolitical. I mean, if you have an administration who's pushing one form of energy, I'd just say, look, be careful with that, because that form of energy you've heard all before for 200 years has delivered the most volatile, highest cost of energy we've ever had. Unpredictable standards of living, thanks being pegged to someone else's policies in fossil fuel energy. If you produce all your own energy, say in America, you're not going to be asking mums and dads who probably have a couple of $100 only in their pocket to compete against these massive tech companies who have a couple of $100 billion in their pocket, Richard, to buy all the energy which is available, and mums and dads are going to go without. And that's what you're going to do if you have this massively increasing energy demand, yet you're fixing your supply to fossil fuel.
But you're a company primarily extraction. And so
that's don't confuse that with oil and gas.
No,
Richard.
but I always.
This is called green energy extraction. It's the future of the world.
I know, but I do confuse it. I do, because oil and gas comes out of the ground, and you take.
I take metal out of the ground.
Metal out of the ground.
And I put the topsoil back, and all the grass grows.
Yeah, it just sort of seems like a sort of a. You're picking and choosing what you
Not
take out
at
of
all,
the ground.
Richard. That's so unfair. One takes no carbon out of the ground and doesn't destroy the atmosphere. The other takes carbon out of the ground and puts it in the atmosphere. I have no carbon in iron. Now, we're going to make iron steel with hydrogen. That's coming as quick as we possibly can.
Where does this messianic, that's my word, where does this messianic real net zero come from in your life?
Okay, so I've just watched the inability of the world, not just me, the inability of the world to finance anything with the word net in it. What is net? Is net carbon sequestration in the ground? That fails. That's a fraud. Is it carbon offsets? Is it carbon credits? They don't deliver anything like what they promise. You could be sued against that. You can't finance against net, but you can finance against stop burning fossil fuel, Richard, and that means you've got a bankable proposition. You can finance that straight away.
I think that the level of skepticism that's out there, that yes, we all want to get to real zero, but we believe it's not possible in a real frame time without doing economic damage. Okay. In other words, making people have sacrifices.
Okay, Richard, I am the highest performing company for shareholder returns on the entire Australian Stock Exchange in history. That is Fortescue. We are the lowest cost, most efficient bulk miner on earth. Do you think we're going to lose that mantle? We're not going to lose that mantle. We've fought for 20 years to earn that. We've kept it now for years. By stopping burning $1 billion a year into the atmosphere, carbon dioxide, taking that $1 billion and building out our own energy company, we're now energy producers, Richard, and that's an asset. It's not smoke in the air poisoning people. It's an asset of our shareholders. So real zero.
So how does the industry, the world, the consumers, whatever, how does it negotiate this with a new US president that seems to be hell-bent on fossil fuels, and that will set the agenda in many people's minds?
Look, I listen to all this and I hear drain the swamp all the time, and that really means get all the big money out of Washington, D.C. and bring in great policy. All I can say is what we're listening to is the really big money of oil and gas, which is going to lead to a higher cost of living for anyone who only has that as an alternative. If I was this administration, I'd say bring in every possible energy source you possibly can. I would not choose one horse which has failed and failed and failed.
Choose your colour.
Go.
Oh, right.
No, in fact, I'll have blue just because.
Why not?
Okay.
Okay. The next 4 years in any way you like, as long as you like.
Okay, I'll go the economy. Stupid. That's me. I'm an economic pragmatist. I'm going green.